One of the things that is especially fun with the Gothic text is that we have the opportunity to do ornamental caps. And believe me, the sky's the limit. Decorative caps, drop caps, ornamental caps. Google image any of those words and you'll find all kinds of examples. Let me start out by showing you a very simple one. I have here a bit of practice that I'll actually make reference to more later. And I started out by doing the first letter quite large, in fact the first 3 words large, and then got smaller. More about that later. But I want to show you a very simple trick to do with that first letter. Very simple ornamental caps, and for this I'm going to need my Superman X-ray glasses. I'm using here a Pilot parallel pen. It's a wonderful calligraphy pen, but one of the nice characteristics about it, let me find a piece of blank paper here, is that it can write just fine, discrete, straight lines. So I'm just using it as a pen, not as a calligraphy pen. And what I'm going to do here is draw, in essence, a shadow, and I'm writing in red, so it'll be a nice contrast. I'm going to trace, leaving a little gap, what I call the shadow line down, and to the left of all of the lines in this letter. Does that make sense? So it's as if the light were coming from the upper right and casting a shadow, but it's not really a shadow, it's just a single line that looks shadow-like. Does that make sense? So simply by doing this, and I'm almost finished already, that didn't take very long, I've added quite a bit of character to that first letter that just gives it a little bit more pop. I could also continue to do that for all of these letters if I chose to do so, but for now I'm leaving it just like that. Got it? So that's like the simplest ornamental cap that you can possibly do. Now let's talk about another option, getting a little bit fancier in the ornamental cap category. Let me pick up another piece of parchment-like paper. Let's say that we're going to do a fairy tale, okay? Once upon a time, and so we want the O. I mean, come on, you've all seen the Disney cartoons, right? When the book opens and there's a nice, great big O. That's sort of what we're after. Let me do an O here. And by the way, I am using a pen, a tool here that I haven't used yet on this video. It's called a steel pen. It's a lot of fun to play with, and I'm using it really simply because I want these nice wide lines. So there's our letter O, close enough for a demo. My ladder marks. Okay. Now the first thing, actually the very first thing I'm going to do is dry this so I don't make a great big mess when I use a ruler. Okay? Be back with you in just a second. So my ink is dry now. I can start doing some work. The first thing that I'm going to do is draw a box around this, and it looks like if I make the box exactly 3 by 3 inches, that will be just about right. So let me mark this and then mark it this way as well. And we're certainly not limited to something as pedantic or boring as a box. We can do anything in the world, all kinds of shapes. You could make this, you know, the shape of a fairy godmother or a magic potion bottle or a flying goose, anything you want. But we're going to keep it fairly simple for now. So these are pencil lines, of course, that I'm doing right now. I will come back later and clean them up with an eraser. Now, let me, just for fun, I've got a broad felt tip marker here, and I want to hold this ruler in such a way that hopefully the ink will not bleed underneath it. There we go. And again, the sky's the limit. You can do whatever you want, whatever your imagination leads you to do when it comes to decorative caps. I'm just going to do a few strokes of sample. And of course, even though I'm not going to be doing much or any color here, I'll do some red since I've got that pen ready to go. Let's do a shadow box right here. There we go. And again, using not very sophisticated tools, just things you probably already have around the house. The first thing I'm going to do is, again, with the same pen, put my glasses back on, is do an outline around the entire letter. This is fairly standard decorative cap fare. So in a sense, I'm isolating the letter so that all the scribbling and all the drawing that I do in the rest of this box won't be interfering with our nice clean O. Got it? So I've drawn an outline around it. Now, all the rest in here, so I'm going to do a simple outline of a witch holding a broom, and then I fill in the background just with scribbles, tracing and tracing. A lot of the culture, if you will, of a decorative cap is all this little filigree kind of stuff. Up here, let's do, sure, the magic apple. Here it is. Apple, stem, leaf, and then do all the lines around it. So the idea would be you would fill in the rest of the box with all this fine little detail. The third thing that you might do, the third step of this, what symbol do I put down here? Oh, a castle, certainly. We're really going with a fairy tale theme here. Does that make sense? It really doesn't matter what you draw. A big part of the culture, that is to say the tradition of the decorative caps, is detail, detail, detail. I won't carry it any further than that. You can see the look that it begins to have. And then whether you do the inside of the O is sort of up to you. You may like it better being an open space, or you may continue this very same kind of thing inside here. And then of course you could pick up your watercolor brush and start coloring it. Again, the sky's the limit. You can do whatever you want. Ornamental caps are a lot of fun, and then you would continue, of course, with the rest of the word, once upon a time. Got it? That's ornamental caps. Have fun with it.